hanging around our front door.
My one condition, take it or leave it.
You have got to tell Willow before it's too late.
Being with you meant something to me.
I'm the reason that he became a cop, and I'm the reason he's dead. Get your shot at Drew. Let me hear.
So now Carly's going to confront Drew too. It's hard not to feel like his character has really shifted in a way that might not sit well with fans who remember his previous roles. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Carly ends up being the one to reveal the Nina and Drew situation. Drew's focused on Willow, but Willow has this tendency to say one thing and do another, just like her mother. She's often the first to play the victim while avoiding responsibility for her own actions. Joss is really going through a tough time. She and Dex were a great match, and it's going to be especially hard for her when she finds out his death wasn't just a random accident, but something that could have been prevented. Cameron's back, and it's clear he's grown up a lot. He doesn't look like a teenager anymore. I hope he can be there for Joss. She's really going to need her friends more than ever right now. Now, about Willow, she just made a huge choice that hurt Michael. She and Drew had their moment in the nursery, and then she tells Michael, "I need this." It's tough to watch because it feels like she's so focused on her own emotions that she's not fully considering Michael's. After everything he's been through, it would have been nice to see her show more concern for him. The current storyline between Willow and Drew feels a bit off. There's no real chemistry between them, and it's hard to see how this makes sense given everything that's happened with Willow, her family, and her health struggles. It just doesn't seem to fit. And Drew's character, he's definitely taken a turn. It's hard to watch when it feels like he's being written in a way that's making people uncomfortable. It's just a bit strange, especially if you've ever been in a situation that made you feel uneasy. I've learned to just let go of trying to make sense of the soap opera storylines. It's clear these shows are all about the drama, and sometimes that means things don't always add up. But I just don't understand why Carly is still so focused on taking revenge on someone who did so much for her. I miss the original Drew. As much as I appreciate Cameron, I do wish we could see Billy Miller in this role again. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby, here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. I've been saying it all along, Sidwell is responsible for Sam's death. And guess who just showed up? Him. What a shocker. Also, Sasha telling Tracy to lay her own eggs was priceless. Honestly, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. Now, as much as I love Anna, her whole holier-than-thou attitude towards Sunny is pretty rich. I mean, she runs to Jason for help every time she's in a bind, and yet she acts like she's above everyone else. And seriously, is she crying in every scene now? Can we get a little variety, Anna? As for Sasha, can we please let her have a moment of happiness? The girl's parents are nowhere to be found, and Sidwell, seriously, is still playing his little kidnap game. How has he managed to go unnoticed around Port Charles this long? And if she doesn't get to have this baby and keep it, I might actually lose it. Oh, and Anna, that high and mighty attitude towards Sunny is beyond. She's constantly bending the rules to get what she wants, yet acts like she's above reproach. Please. Now, I know this might be an unpopular opinion, but I have to say it. Anna might not be the best police commissioner, but her emotional support for Jocelyn proves she's got a warm heart. Honestly, despite all the messes they make of her character, I still love and respect Finola. Sometimes I even wish she were my mom. Strange, I know, but it's true. Sunny, you hit the nail on the head. Whoever gets to be your mother is going to be one lucky kid. I hope you get that chance again. Even Tracy eating humble pie after Maxie gave her a reality check didn't ruin the moment. Sasha has really come a long way, standing up for herself and showing some strength. And of course, Sidwell, the clown, is back in Port Charles. Seriously, buddy, you didn't leave. And you think you can keep Sasha's secret? Not for long. Finally, Jason, can you please stop? Lulu has a family. let them be there for her. Does Danny not matter to you? Elizabeth's got two of her ex-husbands, Rick and Lucky, stepping in to save her from the whole angel of death mess. I'm not exactly a fan of Rick, but I'll admit he was right for once. Elizabeth needs to stay far away from GH until this whole thing blows over. If she ignores Rick and Lucky and someone else dies, like Sam and Dex did, she's just going to look even more guilty. And trust me, the last thing she needs is to be caught in another death scandal. Meanwhile, Jason drops some truth bombs on Anna about not owning guilt that doesn't belong to her. It's about time someone told her that. Then there's Sunny, stepping up for Sasha on the worst day of her life, the anniversary of losing baby Liam. His words to her about one day becoming a mother again and being a blessing to that child. Well, little does he know, he's already referring to Sasha carrying his youngest grandchild. Talk about irony. But of course, things are looking grim for Sasha and her baby with Symbol back in town. Seriously, can't they just leave Sasha alone? The woman's been through enough. She deserves some happiness for once. Speaking of chaos, Lulu and Brooke are still at each other's throats. Dante might be warming up to the idea of a little connection between Cody and Lulu, but who knows? It's a soap after all. But one thing I'm genuinely glad about is that Sasha stood up for herself, and Tracy actually apologized to her. I didn't see that coming. Sunny also told Anna he wants to help track down Dex's killer. Let's hope he doesn't get sidetracked, because he's not exactly known for staying on task. And what's up with Sidwell's return? Could he be the real hospital killer, not Cyrus? Now that would be a twist. Sasha was upfront with him before, but if he goes all kidnapper or threatens her again, it could put Michael in the line of fire. If Michael finds out about the baby, he'll go full-on protective mode and probably go after Sidwell. Or worse, Michael might just bail on Port Charles entirely to go search for Sasha. Either way, there are a lot of potential drama options in this baby storyline. I was initially on board with Lulu because, honestly, she reminded me of Julie, physically at least. But wow, she's really pushing my patience with how harsh she's being. The constant snark is quickly becoming grating. Someone needs to tell her that it's not 2020 anymore. How is it that someone who's been in a coma for 4 years can just come back and act like everything is fine? I get that Lulu's worried about her daughter, but her rude attitude toward Brooklyn is just uncalled for. Yeah, they've had a rough history, and sure, I used to side with Lulu when they clashed. But Brooklyn has grown so much in these past 4 years. Lulu has no idea how much she's changed. She doesn't see how much more responsible, warm-hearted, and mature Brooke has become. So, Lulu's judging her based on who she used to be, and that's just wrong. It frustrates me when people are so stuck in the past that they can't recognize growth. It's time for Lulu to catch up and realize that life has moved on without her. Brooklyn isn't the same person she was when she was playing childish games. Lulu needs to accept that, and more importantly, she needs to stop holding on to outdated grudges. The two of them have been at odds long enough. They deserve a chance to make peace, and if Lulu doesn't get it together soon, she's going to come off as nothing but bitter and unlikable. I'm seriously struggling with how the Lulu character is being handled right now. She's constantly taking shots at everyone, and no one's bothering to tell her how much Valentine has done for Charlotte all these years. He's the one who's always been there for her, even letting her visit her mother. And as for Brooklyn, well, she's come a long way. What she did for Maxie proves that she's a completely different person. Lulu really needs to stop being so judgmental and give credit where it's due before she becomes completely insufferable. Is it just me, or does Lulu give off major mean girl vibes? It's like everything revolves around her and her wants, and she somehow always gets exactly what she wants. I do like Brooklyn though, at least she's got some self-control. Honestly, Lulu should just be grateful she's alive. I'm not a fan of hers at all. Remember when she was injured and had a whole different boyfriend? she really needs to move on. She's just a hateful person. There's something off about that Lulu character. I have a feeling they're going to make her worse, and when she finds Charlotte, it's definitely not going to be some heartwarming reunion. No, it's going to be a clash. She's a teenager now, and with a mouth just as sassy as her mom's, I doubt they'll get along. And what's with all the hate for Carly? People act like she's wrong for trying to protect Michael, but somehow it's totally fine for Nina to sneak behind Willow's back and try to grab custody of the kids. It's all so hypocritical. Why do people hate on Carly so much? But oh, Minna is just so wonderful, right? Yeah, please. So now Drew is trying to expose Michael and Curtis. Yeah, that's going to hurt Willow and the kids. But apparently, that's part of Michael and Curtis's perfect plan. Great job, guys. I don't even like Drew, though. He's turning into some creepy stalker, but if Willow wasn't married, no one would even care about the situation with him and Michael. Also, didn't Alexis have kids with brothers and no one found that weird? It's basically the same thing with Willow and Drew. Sure, Michael is Drew's nephew, but it's not much different from Alexis's situation. And honestly, Nina can sleep with whoever she wants. It's none of Willow's business. Oh, the drama's thick, isn't it? So apparently, Carly's the villain for being too in your face, but Nina gets a pass for secretly hiring a divorce and custody lawyer behind Willow's back. Classic. And let's not forget Martin's priceless moment when he asked Nina if Willow knew about it. Gold. I love how Jason and Sasha make a better match than Jason and Anna. At least they're on the same page. I said Carly turned on Willow, but some of y'all were quick to defend her. Well, surprise, Carly wants revenge, plain and simple. And Mena? Yeah, she's definitely jumping the gun here. Calling Martin was a total misstep. The moms need to step aside and let Michael and Willow handle their mess. Jason's the only one making sense right now. Martin's honesty with Nina was refreshing, though. Willow messed up, not Michael, remember that. As for Drew, he's practically stalking Willow at this point. But hey, we'll see how it all shakes out, especially with Michael's exit looming. As for Drew, let's be real, he's a total creep now. His character's been completely wrecked. Both Nina and Carly love their kids, but they're both overstepping and setting themselves up for disaster. As for Liz, though, she's the best mom on the show, no competition. Her scenes are always a highlight for me. Joss and Trina's friendship, hands down, one of the purest, most genuine friendships I've ever seen on a soap. I really hope they keep that dynamic strong. Now, will Michael end up in prison for insider trading? That would be one wild way to exit the show. And let's talk about Nina. She hires a lawyer and starts planning a divorce for Willow, who never even asked for one, and that's supportive. But Carly looking out for her son is somehow overstepping. Please, double standards much? Team Carly all the way. Oh, and didn't Nina make Willow's life a nightmare for a long time? Just saying. On a side note, Joss and Trina have both lost boyfriends tragically. Oscar, Dexs, Rory, and Spencer. That's a lot for any friendship to endure, and yet they remain solid. That's true loyalty right there. Is this really how they're going to write Michael off the show? By sending him to prison for insider trading with the Aurora stock? That's quite the turn of events. And now, Nana suddenly wants to keep Willow away from Michael, like Willow wasn't always cherished by him. It seems Willow just can't stay committed. Nina will hold onto any story she can, but it always seems to backfire. Also, why is the surgeon so insistent on pushing flu shots? Something about his involvement doesn't sit right with me, and I can't help but wonder if he's somehow connected to the recent deaths. Drew went to prison to protect Carly from insider trading, right? But isn't what Michael and Curtis are doing basically the same thing? Dropping the stock prices and then buying up shares at a discount? Michael should be aware of the consequences, given his mom's history. Nina, talking to Martin about Drew and Willow's situation, is just too much. She's trying to say it wasn't Willow's fault? Did she miss the part where Willow walked upstairs, went straight to Drew, and made it clear she had no problem with what happened between them? It's interesting how some Nina fans keep calling it a loss, as if Nina did anything Carly didn't already know about. Nina couldn't move forward without Michael's approval, and Carly made sure of that. But hey, call it a win if it makes you feel better. Willow and Drew hurt my son, and now they'll face the consequences. Carly's not backing down. Say what you want, but Willow and Nina didn't budge an inch until Michael gave them the green light. Neither of them had the guts to move Carly out of the way and just leave like they clearly wanted to. Now, to all the Lulu haters out there, let's be real for a second. Brooklyn is boring. Her character is boring, her husband is boring, and honestly, their entire storyline is a snooze fest. Lulu, not boring. She's never been boring. You all are just trying to cancel her like you did to Kelly Monaco. Give it a rest. As for what Sidwell's going to do with Sasha, especially now that she's pregnant, that's going to be interesting, but I'm cracking up over this whole Nina-Willow dynamic. Nina's telling Willow how to be a good mother, but when Carly speaks her mind to Michael, suddenly she's the Karen who needs to stay out of it. The hypocrisy is chef's kiss. On a more serious note, I love how much time Elizabeth spends with her exes. Seriously though, the conversation between Sunny and Sasha, that was beautiful. It meant a lot to her knowing someone remembered. I wish she would have told him about the baby, but I get why she isn't ready to share yet. If something bad happens to that baby though, I won't even want to watch anymore. My heart will break for her. And for those wondering, my worst death, Emily and Alan still hurt the most. Now, as for the new generation, I'm calling it. Willow's going to be the new Bobby, Sasha's the new Laura, and Lulu's taking on Anna's role. Brooklyn, Felicia, all the way. Maxie, Carly 2.0. As for Jocelyn and Christina, maybe one of them becomes the new Tracy, and the other the new Ava. I can't figure out where they'll land after all the deaths. Molly's definitely Alexis's mini-me though. Oh, and Trina? I see her switching from art to fashion. She'll probably end up as the new Lucy or Nina. As for female doctors, looks like Elizabeth might be the last one standing, unless she returns to medicine. Cyrus really went all out with the whole killing Sam with an injection thing, didn't he? The flashback made sure we didn't forget that. Dex, of course, knew that Cyrus was on the 10th floor, Sam's floor, by the way, and probably had a hunch that Cyrus would come after him next. It's a bit hard to believe that Anna, knowing Dex had already been targeted once, didn't think to station a guard at his door. It seems like the logical move, especially since he's an officer of the law, but apparently not. And then there's the ongoing Maina situation. Some people are asking why Nina didn't tell Willow about her and Drew's relationship, but the bigger question might be, why didn't Michael tell Willow what happened between him and her best friend? And why is Sasha trying to keep things under wraps, especially considering her financial situation and the fact that she'll soon be raising a child on her own? It's not really the ideal secret to keep. That said, Willow doesn't have much room to be upset about Nina and Drew. After all, they're both single adults. She might be hurt that Nina kept it from her, but eventually, she'll likely forgive her since they're living together now. As for Carly, it makes sense she's looking out for Willow, but she doesn't exactly know Michael's true intentions when Nina gave her advice. It's understandable, but a little complicated. And with all the subtle hints about Brooklyn, Dant, and Cotty from their teenage years, it's a soap opera, so anything's possible, right? But here's the tricky part. Both Sonny and Lewis knowing about everything doesn't quite align with their usual approach. Plus, now Brooklyn's facing fertility issues, which complicates things even more. The timing's certainly interesting. There's a chance Dant doesn't even know about Brooklyn's child with him. That's her secret to keep. But with Gio doing so well in college and as a musician, maybe now's the right moment for the truth to come out. Well, here we are. I've been watching this show since I was a kid, and what started as a relatable drama about personal relationships has somehow morphed into a bizarre mix of espionage, spying, and death. So basically, it's nothing the average person can even begin to relate to anymore. And here we are, smack in the middle of the holiday season. What's there to enjoy about GH? Seriously, what's the point? Haven't we had enough drama, chaos, and despair in the world already? There was a time when GH was a much-needed escape. Now, it's like the cherry on top of the cake of doom. Bravo, producers, you've really outdone yourselves. Can we please have something uplifting for once? Just a little bit of joy in the world, maybe? After all these years, I'm so close to saying goodbye for good. What on earth is happening behind the scenes with the production, the staff, and the writers? And let's not even get started on the whole kill off the actors who dared to turn down pay cuts drama. Seriously, pull it together before you lose the longtime fans who've stuck with you through thick and thin. Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.